Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. The title of my speech today is Public Speaking Techniques. To begin my speech, I will start my share screen. Public Speaking Techniques. In Toastmasters, we learn many public speaking techniques, and today I'm going to talk about a number of different techniques that I've learned over the years in public speaking, and I'm also going to show you a video of a speaker using these techniques in a speech. One important and very useful public speaking techniques is audience participation. It's a quotation which says that we don't care unless we share. And it's been shown that audience participation is a very important and very useful, effective technique in getting your audience attention. It could be through a rhetorical question. It could be through a question and answer period. It could be by doing a demonstration with someone in the audience. All these are very effective and very important in gathering the attention of your audience. Now, sometimes people will ask questions of an audience, but you want to be careful doing that because you don't want to ask someone a question they don't know. And unfortunately, this is a technique they use very commonly in medical education. I've seen this in my education, and it's kind of a malignant Socratic method where they'll purposely ask a student a question they don't know and then watch them squirm and get humiliated in front of their peers. And they'll always remember what the answer to the question was, but it always has a negative effect. So audience participation, you want to do it, but not in a negative, malignant way. Another important technique in a speech is quotations, giving a quotation. Now, you want to use a quotation that's relative and relevant to the speech you're giving and the topic you're giving, not just a routine or arbitrary quotation. Stories is a very important technique to use in public speaking, and it's if you give a vivid story, then you can engage your audience and get their attention, keep their attention. Gestures are very useful in your presentations. We don't get to practice that much in a Zoom speech, but if you can use a movement of your hand to illustrate and accentuate what you're saying, it's important. You don't want to have your hands just kind of randomly moving in the air. Vocal variety, that's very important in speaking. You want to vary the pitch pace of your speech and insert pauses in your speech. The triads are three words or phrases that will embellish a certain topic or a certain idea, but it's always three different words or three different sentences. So this is an important thing that you might learn as a speaker. You have to recover if you make a mistake or error. And sometimes people, when they're speaking, I mean, no one's going to give a perfect speech, but there are going to be times where you might forget something and you don't want to be paralyzed and stand there and be embarrassed in front of your audience. And this takes a little practice, and you have to practice your speech and do it as well as you can, because if you do run into a point where you can't remember something or you make a mistake, you want to be able to recover and keep going. Uh, Assonance. Assonance is a rhetorical technique. Assonance is the repeating of identical or similar sounds at the end of words, also known as rhyming. So rap singers, rap stars are experts in assonance, but it's also a very good technique to use in a speech. Okay, to demonstrate all of these techniques I just talked about, I'm going to play you a short clip from a speaker, a mystery speaker.
Hi, Mr. Wonderful here. I don't waste
Okay, that's not the speaker, that's just the ad.
time, and I definitely don't waste money. I joined Start Engine as a strategic.
Okay, we're going to skip that. And this is our mystery speaker that will demonstrate these techniques. I apologize, it's a little dark in there.
Okay, everyone, we lost the speaker.
Will be in. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, pleasure to be here today. First, Carl Lindy, I'd like you to do something for me. Okay, so at the beginning of the speech, I do some audience participation. Carl, I'd like you to take Lindy's hand, your left hand, her right hand. Okay. Now, I'd like you to put your right hand over both of your hands. Now, Carl, I'd like you to look into Lindy's eyes. Now, I'd like you to look down. No, wait, put your hand over her hand. This is like a game show. All right, there you go. You got it.
Amigo,
Okay.
all he knows how to do is colonoscopies. Remember? He doesn't know how to do anything else.
Okay.
Too complicated.
Carl, I want you to look into Lindy's eyes. Now, I'd like you to look down on your right hand. Carl, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but this is the last time you will ever have the upper hand. It was once said that if you love someone, let them go. If they come back to you, then they are yours forever. If they don't, then it was never meant to be. So after my technique, using the technique of audience participation, I use a quotation. And it's good to use a quotation that a lot of people have heard before, because that also draws in their attention. And then they wonder why you use that quotation, and it'll make them want to listen to the rest of your speech. Carl and Lindy first met about 10 years ago. So here I'm going to start talking about how the married couple met. They were introduced to each other by Lisa.
I didn't know.
Lisa works with Carl. She must have sensed that he was feeling lonely, isolated, desperate, and frustrated about his love life. So she decided that she was going to be the office matchmaker.
By the way, she's also the office wife.
Now, Lisa was introduced to Lindia by a mutual friend at a bus stop. Now, for all you young people, we didn't have online dating at that time. So we met each other at bus stops and supermarkets, things like that. Lisa thought that Carl and Lindia would make a good couple, a good combination. So a blind date was arranged. When Carl first met Lindia, he was instantly attracted and enamored by her beauty, which is obvious, and her kind, considerate manners. So there I used a triad. I used beauty, kind, and considerate. Lindy, on the other hand, was initially not that impressed with Carl. She really thought he wasn't her type. She expressed some consternation about him to her friends. However, something about him intrigued her. So she agreed to a second date, and then a third. Soon there was a fire of love and romance burning between them. So here I use my hands as a gesture and to imitate a fire. Unfortunately, that fire cooled and they drifted apart. Fast forward 10 years later. They meet again by chance at Bloomingdale's.
Ah, caramba. This is a novela.
They must have been on their way to the reconciliation party. I didn't know they had that at Bloomingdale's. They started dating again. And soon they discovered that that fire, that love that they once had, was still there burning deep in their hearts. Carl realized that he made a terrible mistake letting her go the first time. So he decided that he would never make that mistake again.
Idiota, idiota.
So you notice there, I changed my pace. Most of the speech I was going at a slow pace, and at parts I'll go in a more rapid pace.
No refund.
A year later, they got engaged on top of a mountain in Hawaii. Very romantic. And a year later, here we are today, witnessing the unification of two of the smartest, caring, kindest people that I know. So there again, I used a triad. Those three words. When you love someone, let them go. If they don't come back, if you love someone, let them go. If they come back to you, then they are yours forever. So there, I kind of messed up the quotation, but I was able to gather my thoughts in those few seconds and then restart the quotation sentence. Carl, Lindia, you are forever. You are meant to be. And now I would like to propose a toast to the new bride and groom.
Cheers.
So now you're going to hear an example of assonance. Carl. Carl, Lindia. Congratulations to the termination of your isolation. And let me express my appreciation on your determination to end the desperation and frustration that has caused you so much consternation, giving you the inspiration to make this unification and bring an accumulation to the population.
You must be a Walt Frazier fan.
So, as I end my toast on this occasion and wrap up my salutation, I raise my glass to this combination and bid good luck to the consummation. So cheers, and on with the celebration.
Beautiful.
So in summary, I recommend that you use these and other public speaking techniques in your speeches in the future. Thank you.